New update, new game modes, new White Crow, all coming out inside of this brand new update. Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy the Chief, aka the Chef, aka the extra large box of goldfish, bringing you a brand new episode of Brawl Stars, where inside of today's video, we're gonna be checking out sneak peek number 1 of the new update coming out inside of Brawl Stars. And if you guys are watching this video as soon as I release it, for the first 2 hours after this video, I'm gonna be streaming on a new website called Trovo, where you guys can go ahead and check me out live streaming some Brawl Stars action. There's gonna be giveaways, everything else for 2 hours after this video goes live. Go ahead and download, follow me at trovo.live/chiefpad, but let's go ahead and check out this update. Now for the very first sneak peek today, we've got a bunch of different stuff we're going to talk about, balance changes, whatever else. But starting off, we're going to be taking a look at the newest environment to hit Brawl Stars, guys, which is all about the Super City. I can't tell you how cool I think this actually is. This is one of my favorite looking, I guess like little redesigns that Supercell's done in the entire game. So excited about this. And yeah, so far so good. Look, oh man, you guys are already starting to see some emotes right now. We haven't even gotten to that part of the video, guys, but the newest environment inside of Brawl Stars, all based around cities. And this clues in with the new mode that you guys will definitely be seeing very soon. The new mode where you're protecting a monster from destroying the entire city. It's coming to Brawl Stars sooner than later. Can't wait to check that out right now, but definitely this one's pretty cool. So you look at the right side, you've got the classic Colt Crunch poster, which a lot of YouTubers have in their background. Personally, I have it in my closet as well. You've got the train cars, you've got the buildings, you got everything else going down. I know Kairos is always talking about how Brawl Stars apparently is a theme park. Interested to see how this one plays into that Brawl theory, but guys, this is one of the cooler ones they've released inside of Brawl Stars. Beach on that left-hand side. Looks like on the right-hand side, I'm trying to see what's going on with that M spinning around inside of a circle. Leon gonna emote on him. Yeah, I like how they made the emotes work on the work on everything else going here. In Central Station, okay, maybe this is where people load into the theme park or something else. Anyways, guys, check out something else right here. I'm already gonna give you a little spoiler on one of the buffs coming out inside of Brawl Stars. Look at where I shoot my Nani shot and look up where it ends up. No longer is it gonna be as difficult to hit Nani shots because it'll continue a little bit further past your shot to make it just a bit easier to do damage, guys. But the new update's looking beautiful. One of the coolest environments to date. All right, no more teasing the balancing changes. Let's go and hop into them right now. And the very first thing is we're gonna see a rework to Gale. Now, a lot of you guys actually ended up catching this from the most recent video that Supercell ended up releasing. Gonna be a way skinnier radius for Gale, where Gale's gonna end up shooting 6 shots right now, which is gonna make it significantly easier to hit, as well as Gale is gonna end up basically being able to do more damage. Now that you've got these extra 6 shots, the damage is gonna be a little bit more because you've added 1 shot onto the end, and Supercell didn't adjust the snowballs and damage whatsoever. So looking super good right now, guys. Gale gonna be much stronger, much easier to hit all of those snowballs for a single attack, and overall should be pretty legit. Now, not only did we see those changes to Gale, Gale also got a change to the super. Now when Gale uses his super, 1, it's gonna keep Gale sitting in place. Number 2, it's gonna increase the pushback to enemy brawlers when it goes down. Personally, I feel like Gale's already one of the more underrated brawlers inside of Brawl Stars, but with these buffs, he's gonna be a beast. Let's move on to the second brawler that's gonna end up getting a buff inside of this update. You guys already could tell from that first game that I played that Nani's gonna see quite a few changes. One of them is that Nani's gonna see a 200 HP health increase, and the second buff is it's gonna be way more easy to land your attacks. Guys, in the past with Nani, one of the biggest issues is you auto-aim someone in front of you and they move 1 step away and you're gonna end up missing. Now they make it to where Nani shots continue flying forward after they go down, so they don't abruptly stop when it goes down right now. Gonna make Nani way easier to auto-aim, gonna make it way easier to lead your shots. Nani's gonna see some significant changes here, and even though they didn't touch on the reload speed or attack speed or anything like that, this should be good enough to make Nani usable inside of certain modes, especially Bounty, where Nani tends to be really good for locking and loading right now. But Nani buffs, pretty OP, love seeing him inside of the game. I find it hard to believe that the worst brawler inside of all of Brawl Stars only saw 1 buff instead of these sets of balancing changes, which doesn't even affect his main attack and versatility. But guys, Dynamite saw a small buff to where now when you use Dynamite's gadget, you're gonna see a slight speed increase, which is gonna work well from running away from opponents. Dynamite has a lot of issues. I'm not sure that running away speed using her gadget was one of them. As Colt destroys me, Dynamite still needs more buffs. Now, of course, no update's complete without a couple of nerfs, and checking in at the first nerf on our list is gonna end up being for Jean. Now, Jean saw a relatively small change where Jean's health is gonna be decreased by 200 HP, making it a little bit easier to get that 3-pot shot potential onto him. Obviously, Gene's still going to be great due to the super potential and how versatile Gene's kit is. 200 HP hurts, but maybe not enough to throw Gene to the bottom of the pile. Interesting tweaks coming out to Jackie inside of these changes. Notice on the bottom right that Jackie's had her gadget counter increase back up to 3 from 2, but don't worry, there's a reason they've done that. And first, Jackie saw some base health nerfs as well. If you take a look at Jackie's going to end up being decreased from 5,200 to 5,000 at base level, meaning it's a 200 HP nerf. And then for Jackie's gadget, it's going to go from a 30% speed creeps buff to a 20% buff, which means it's a little bit less easy to get on your opponents. And again, one of the most impressive things about Jackie is the fact that the gadget basically gave you free kills when it came out inside of the game, and still it was a bit too strong. Now that it's down to 20%, it'll be a little bit more difficult to get on your opponents. 3 charges back to make sure Jackie isn't useless, but still, the auto aim brawler of justice that Jackie is still should be popping up inside of the meta. By far and away, the most broken brawler inside of Brawl Stars right now is Sprout. And really the reason that Sprout's so broken is that it's so easy to land Sprout shots. So what Supercell's done is they've made it to where now when you're using the star power overgrowth, which gives Sprout the most ridiculous set of range ever, it's actually going to charge back up on a timer. So these normal shots, that when your thing is charged up like this and the red bar is full, it's going to give you that full overgrowth splash. But when you shoot one of your regular shots, you're not going to end up getting that full radius of the Sprout star power. Now this is a pretty smart change, to be honest, because honestly overgrowth, I mean, there's a lot of issues with Sprout, the bounces, the fact that shots get kept alive for so long, but really the fact that Sprout just becomes such an easy brawler to play with the radius of overgrowth honestly is one of their biggest issues. So I'm excited to see this nerf hit Brawl Stars. However, Supercell did accommodate for that by actually changing the supercharging rate to where you only have to hit 4 times to get your super now versus 5 times in the past. They know it's going to be more difficult to hit your shots, so they made it a little bit better. But guys, Sprout, now that it's going to be even more easy to hit your supers, well, potentially, depending on how deadly of a sharpshooter you are, more Sprout walls, more Brawl Ball madness. I still think that Sprout's going to be good, but this is a super interesting change from Supercell. Final balance change doesn't end up being more of a nerf or a buff, guys, but Supercell ended up yeeting one of Mr. P's star powers, and they said goodbye to Tin Can, which gave Mr. P's little porter spawner a little bit more HP. What they ended up spawning, or I guess creating, was a new one called Revolving Door. And now whenever you're playing Mr. P and you're playing Revolving Door, what it's going to end up doing is it makes your porter spawn more quickly to where they die. They're going to get much quicker acclimated to the map. More porters are going to spawn more quickly because it's going to reduce the spawn speed by 3 seconds, which is pretty significant. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to charge up my super here and you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let's go and get our first little baby porter going down right now. Oh, this turret. So you can see it died right there and then instantly another one pops up. So this makes it a bit more rapid fire on the porter front, makes it so your little baby penguins are going to be able to put in more work. I think a lot of people don't realize all the time how long it takes to actually get those porters spawn back up. Still for me, Mr. P's first star power is one of the best ones in the game, so I don't see too many people using this one. Interesting change, better than Tin Can, but no real other nerfs to Mr. P, who's one of my 5 best brawlers inside of Brawl Stars. So one of everyone's favorite brawlers inside of Brawl Stars is Crow. Shout out to Lex, by the way. And Crow finally saw a remodel with this update, and if you zoom in on Crow right here, you can see exactly how good that Crow looks. Crow's much more 3D looking, and Supercell did end up sharing us a little clip of UI right now that they're still working on in the end, but you've got regular Crow as well as you've got White Crow, who looks absolutely fierce. I think honestly, White Crow is getting too much hate from all the haters, myself included. I actually play White Crow a ridiculous amount just because I like playing the worst skins inside of Brawl Stars. Supercell ended up yeeting and changed them to where now these should be some pretty glorious skins. However, seeing as I just spent 50,000 star points on Gold Crow, I don't think I'm going to be swapping skins anytime soon. I mean, seriously though, this White Crow skin is legit. He looks like, is he rocking an eye patch? This skin is actually nice. So the final change that I've been waiting so long to talk about inside of this video, and a change I've been waiting for since Brawl Stars honestly released, is now the fact that they have emotes in battle, which are called pins. And finally, those pins that I've spent so many gems on are going to be for good use. So you guys obviously have a menu right here where you can end up picking up to 4 different pins to use for your brawlers. So for someone like Crow, obviously I'm going to use the most topical ones. This is just like a normal one right here. And you can see that there is a definite countdown timer to where you can't spin these too often and BM your opponents. Obviously something that Supercell is going to be tweaking over a bit right now, but guys, you can just go ahead and make it rain with emotes all over your opponents or your teammates inside of Brawl Stars. Now I can actually only try these out inside of training mode right now, so I wish I could use it on some solo showdown bots to give them the business and see what's up, guys. But no doubt that Crow, being one of the most toxic brawlers inside of Brawl Stars, which is a knee slapper by the way, give me that one, is gonna end up flexing those emotes left, right, and center, which should be gorgeous. One other note about pins, which you guys might be asking about, is, hey, what if I'm sitting inside of a bush and I use my pins? Are my opponents able to see my emote? No, they're not gonna be able to. Your teammates will still be able to see your little emote pins whenever you're in a bush, so don't worry about that. But for your opponents, they won't be able to see it when you're BMing them in a bush with no one else around. And yeah, should be pretty solid inside of the game, and overall I'm pretty stoked. And that's about it for sneak peek number 1. This one was more of a minor sneak peek, but balance changes plus those pins inside of battles is really exciting. Obviously, some of the changes they're making to these brawlers to where shots go on a little longer, like someone like a Nani, makes things really, really nice. And overall, I think the game's going in an amazing direction. And with new brawler, new modes coming out inside of these next sneak peeks, no doubt at all that you guys need to stay tuned for some other crazy action inside of Brawl Stars. Where did that Poco go, by the way? But guys, that is going to do it for me inside of the sneak peek episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, make sure if you haven't already, check me out. I'm going to be streaming today. Link in the description below. And of course, sub on up, hit that bell, and use code PAT in the shop. That's going to do it for the Chief himself inside of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Chief, Cat, and I send you our regards, and we can't wait to see this new Brawl Stars update soon. That's going to do it. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.